Have you ever said yes to something, hung up the phone, and immediately thought, why did I just do that? Not because someone forced you, not because you had to, but because in that moment, agreeing felt easier than the alternative. I want to tell you about Maya. Maya was the person everyone called, the reliable one, the she'll figure it out friend. On any given weekend, you could find her helping a colleague paint an apartment she'd never visited, attending a birthday dinner for someone she barely liked, and volunteering for a committee at work she had zero interest in. All while her own laundry sat in a pile, her own plans canceled, her own dreams quietly collecting dust. Nobody was forcing Maya to do any of it. She was doing it to herself. And maybe you know exactly what that feels like. Here's the question I want you to sit with right now. When was the last time you said yes and actually meant it? Not a polite yes. Not a terrified yes. Not a, if I say no they'll think I'm a bad person yes. A real one. For a lot of people, they genuinely can't remember. And that's the problem we're tackling today, not just how to say no, but why you stopped trusting yourself to do it in the first place. Because here's something nobody talks about. You weren't always like this. Think about kids. A 3-year-old has zero problem saying no. They say it loudly, repeatedly, and without any shame whatsoever. They're practically professionals at it. Then life happens. You got praised for being helpful. You kept the peace by going along with things. You learned early that being easy to deal with made people treat you better, or at least made things less uncomfortable. And your brain, which is always optimizing for safety, filed that lesson away permanently. Agreeable equals accepted. Accepted equals safe. Decades later, that survival strategy is running your entire calendar. Back to Maya. The breaking point came on a Sunday afternoon. She was stuck in traffic, already late to her third obligation of the day, and she realized she hadn't eaten since morning because she hadn't had time to stop. She was exhausted, slightly resentful, and here's the part that hit her hardest. Nobody she was rushing to help even knew how much it was costing her. They thought she wanted to be there. She'd said yes after all. That's when it clicked. Her helpfulness wasn't actually helping anyone. It was a performance she was putting on to manage how people felt about her. And everyone involved was operating on false information. So what changes things? It's not a script for saying no. It's not an assertiveness course or a boundary-setting worksheet. It's something smaller and more powerful than all of that. It's a gap. A deliberate space between someone asking you for something and you opening your mouth to respond. When someone makes a request, your people-pleasing response fires off almost instantly, before you've had a conscious thought about it. It's reflexive, automatic, like flinching. The gap interrupts that reflex. It gives your actual judgment time to show up to the conversation. Maya started small. A neighbor asked if she could water their plants for 2 weeks while they traveled. Old Maya was already nodding before the sentence finished. New Maya said, "Let me think about that and get back to you tomorrow." She went home. She thought about it. She actually didn't want to. She had a trip of her own coming up and the timing was bad. So she texted back, "I can't this time, but hope you find someone." Her neighbor said thanks and found someone else in 20 minutes. No fallout. No damaged relationship. No disaster. Just a normal human interaction between two adults. Now let's be real. Your brain is going to try to convince you that it won't go that smoothly for you. It'll say things like, "But my situation is different. These people need me. If I start saying no, they'll think I'm selfish. I'll lose the friendship. I'll be alone." That fear is real. I'm not dismissing it, but I want you to examine it. The people in your life who genuinely care about you, the real ones, are not going to disappear because you said you couldn't make it to something. They'll be fine. They might be momentarily disappointed, the way you're disappointed when a restaurant is out of your favorite thing. And then they'll move on. The people who respond to your "I can't this time" with guilt, manipulation, or punishment, those people were never really invested in you. They were invested in your availability. That's a very different thing. So here's a practical framework for building this habit, because knowing the concept isn't enough. Start with low stakes. Don't practice on your most intimidating relationship first. Start somewhere safe. A salesperson, a survey, an email asking for just 15 minutes of your time. Use the gap there. Get comfortable with the feeling of not immediately agreeing. Have a phrase ready. You don't need a full explanation or an excuse. Simple phrases work. I need to check on a few things first. Or let me get back to you. Or even just, I'm not sure yet. These aren't numbers. They're just not automatic yes. And they're completely socially acceptable. Expect discomfort and go anyway. The first few times you pause before answering, something is going to feel off. Your nervous system has been trained to relieve tension by agreeing immediately. Doing something different will feel wrong even when it's right. That discomfort is not a warning sign. It's just change. Track the aftermath. Every time you use the pause and the world doesn't end, make note of it. Your brain needs evidence to update its predictions. Give it data points. 3 months after Maya started doing this consistently, something unexpected happened. Her close friendships got deeper, because now when she showed up, she actually wanted to be there. She was present. She wasn't managing resentment under the surface. She wasn't checking her phone every 10 minutes wishing she was home. She was there, and people could feel the difference. Her yes meant something again because it was finally true. Here's what I want to leave you with. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you're sending yourself a message. You're telling yourself that other people's comfort is worth more than your honesty. That your time has no real value unless someone else is using it. That you have to earn your place in relationships by being endlessly available. And none of that is true. You don't have to dismantle every pattern overnight. You don't have to become someone who says no to everything. This isn't about swinging to the opposite extreme. It's about inserting one small gap between stimulus and response. 5 seconds of space where your actual self gets a vote. That's it. Try it this week. Every request that comes your way, pause before you answer. Don't commit to saying no more. Just commit to not saying yes on autopilot. Notice what you were about to agree to. Notice how it feels to wait. Notice what your honest answer actually is. The version of your life where your time belongs to you. It starts right there in that pause. What's one thing you keep agreeing to that you genuinely don't want to do? I'd love to hear it in the comments.